Steve, I want to speak to you. I think you and I are the two non-practicing Republicans in this conversation, and we carry the most culpability from being part of a political party held hostage by the NRA. The NRA is a gun lobby that's out of step with the vast majority of its members that support more common sense gun measures. Most gun owners are for things like gun locks and gun safes. Most gun owners are for background checks. But I want to ask you something. Democrats who are for gun control are fine with doing more for the mentally ill. But Republicans who are for doing more for the mentally ill never, ever, ever, ever want to have a conversation about gun control. When's the Republican Party going to wake up and realize that it has blood on its hands?
Yeah, Nicole, I got to be honest, talking about this issue today, I have to disclose my just utter rage over the reality that I have 3 kids, 14, 11, and 5, and this is the country that they're growing up in. And like every parent in America, I have this sick feeling when I drop my kids off at school in the morning that I'm playing some game of Russian roulette with their lives. And the reality is they don't have active shooter drills in Vancouver and in Toronto and in Ottawa. This is February 15th, and this is the 18th mass shooting in a school. And part of the sickness in our democracy is that we're unable in this country to even have a conversation about this. And the truth of the matter is, I'm not sure that I have an answer about what exactly to do over this horror, this tragedy. And the fact that we'll be at the 19th and 20th and 21st school shootings before very much longer. I don't know what to do about it, but I do know that we have to have a conversation. And there is a fundamentally larger question on the table, and that is, what type of country do we want to live in? Do we want to live like this? And if we have leaders who are held hostage through their timidity and cowardice by these special interest groups, we have the power in this country to write our future, to write our destiny, and to get those people so corrupted by these special interest groups the hell out of there.
Philip Bump, I'm going to put up some polls. 79% of respondents support banning assault-style weapons like the one that was used yesterday. 20% oppose. Among Republicans and Democrats, that breaks down to 70% of Republicans who support banning assault-style weapons, 91% of Democrats. Requiring background checks for all gun buyers, 95%. There's not much that 95% of Americans agree on at all, but 95% of Americans agree on background checks.
Right. Yes, that's true. However, there are other polls that ask a more simple question, which is, do you support or oppose stronger controls on guns? And in those polls, it's about even nationally. And in those polls, Republicans, a majority, 2/3 of Republicans say, we oppose those things. And if you're a Republican legislator, you know that the primary ads that are going to be run against you by Republicans who want your seat is not going to be, yes, he stood up for background checks, which everyone agrees with. It is, he advocated for new gun control measures, right?
Yeah. All right, let's hear what Paul Ryan said today after another school shooting.
This is not the time to jump to some conclusion, not knowing the full facts. We've got a lot of more information we need to know. But if someone who is mentally ill is sleeping through the cracks and getting a gun, because we have laws on the books, we have a system to prevent people who aren't supposed to get guns from getting guns. And if there are gaps there, then we need to look at those gaps.
So they're not slipping through the cracks because Donald Trump signed a bill revoking the Obama-era gun checks for people with mental illness. The rule, which was finalized in December, added people receiving Social Security checks for mental illnesses and people deemed unfit to handle their own financial affairs to the National Background Check Database. Had the rule fully taken effect, the Obama administration predicted it would have added about 75,000 names to that database. We'll never know if those 75,000 people might have carried out a shooting.